back with another unconventional cut file usage, and today I was actually inspired by this little checkered flag. Yes, it does only take just one little thing to inspire great things. So what I did was I pulled out this cut file that also came with the checkered flag. It came in my monthly Kit Club kit, and it also has these inner bits that came inside the circles. So I'm super stoked that I get all of these round objects to work with. I did also cut out some, well, actually these are wood pieces, and I cut out and already colored these cute little race cars to match my paper pack. I have this cute little boat from Some Assemblage Required Etsy shop. I thought it would be super cute to add as well because this collection is all about children's toys and books in school and things like that. So I'm showing you guys the little cut aparts, and I find it strange that I have two cards where the floral pieces are cut off, and I can't remember ever doing that. But I do know that I mostly use them for the backside of the frames, but I thought that it would be kind of cool to incorporate them as filler pieces this go around. I also absolutely love this pattern that is on these cut apart cards. It is like a soft, almost watermark stripe with stars inside it. It was my favorite paper within this collection, and it was just here and there and everywhere, so I saved every little bit of it. I also have the inner bits of some other frames that I cut out. I have some fussy cut pieces that I usually fussy cut all my pieces during our car rides when we go and travel and do things like that. We just haven't had the chance to do that this year. So this is all inspired by, well, all of these pieces came from this Minte collection called Childhood. And I was pulling out these papers thinking that I really like the B-sides, but I might be able to get some cut aparts from the A-sides. I'm not really sure. And truth be told, I'm just showing you guys this to show you because I don't end up actually going back to the papers at all. Like, I don't fussy cut the rocket out. I don't fussy cut anything out that I intended to cut out, which is okay because I have tons of stuff to already play with. And then I realized that I have multiple sheets of the same exact thing. So I'm going to quickly take those apart or take those away so I can get to the chipboard pieces that I also have for this collection. Now, I picked up this entire collection, or the bits and pieces of the collection that I wanted from Scrapbook Generation. I'm not sure if it's Generations or Generation. I always say it wrong. All right, and it is also Tuesday, so take out your tool Tuesday. I am taking out my Making Memories. I had to remember if it was Making Memories or Memory Making. I had to remember. But it's a tag maker, and I have all of these little silver rings and things. Now I've got ovals and squares and rectangles and tags and all this kind of stuff saved up because this is kind of one of those tools where it's a one and done. So once you run out of all these rings, and if they stop making it, poof, it's done. You no longer have a need for this tool. And that is why I've been hoarding it so bad. So how this tool works is it comes with a template. So every image that they made in a ring comes with a template. You color or you mark the template with a pencil, cut it out, stick the ring inside the little notch or the little opening, and squeeze the tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark all of my circles. One of the things I have learned with this tool is conveniently they made it to where you cannot use a punch. I have tried. The 1-inch punch is too big, so you end up fussy cutting anyways. The next size down or up, there was just no happy medium. It was like a 1/16 of an inch off, or it was just really weird. So they made it to where you had to use this weird template. Yes. And I find out, because it's been a while since I've used this template, I do remember something about it, but couldn't remember. So I went ahead and, learned the hard way anyways. I was quickly reminded that you cut inside your pencil line. So after I fussy cut all of these out, now what I'm doing is I'm looking for the paper, and I'm making sure that the images that I'm cutting the B-sides out of aren't images I might want to use later. But I quickly realized that once I'm done fussy cutting all of this and I glue all of these cut files to what I want, you know, to be the backer for my tags, I realized that I forgot to cut on the inside of my pencil mark. So I have to not only fussy cut right now, but then also turn around and fussy cut a little bit off later so they fit inside. Because one of the things you do not want is it to buckle inside, because once you press that in there, it's pretty much done and you can't do anything else. Now, back before I realized that this was a one and done tool and I thought that it would last forever, because that's, you know, what my brain thinks, I used to just use the rings. I thought it would be super cool to just have the rings as an embellishment, you know, a nice shiny little ring with absolutely nothing in it. I thought it would be so cool, but I, you know, didn't think about the fact that these rings will no longer be available later. Now, I do know about a year ago or maybe so, Tim Holtz came out with what he calls a tag press, and I went looking for it. Amazon has some available. The link will be down below, as well as Ranger.com has some available. That link will also be down below, because Ranger also has the refills still available. Now, the tag punch came, I believe, with 1 or 2 samples of each ring, and then of course you had to go and buy the extra packet of rings to continue to use your press. I think that it is great because those rings could also be used in this particular tool as well. So that was me showing you guys where I was trying to shove it in, but if it is buckling at all and it does not sit nice and flush within the lip of the ring, then then it's going to be buckled and ruined, and it won't look good at all. So I had to go through and fussy cut out every single one of my little squares, or my little circles, within the pencil line, so that way I could have a nice little tag. Now, for these larger rings, I'm actually pressing it twice, because I felt like one side was not getting pressed enough. So I have now all these cute little rings. I don't want to call them tags, because I don't have any intention of putting a hole punch in them at all. But I have all these really cool little tags made from my cut file, and I just was so stoked with it, you guys. And then, of course, like I said, that little checkered flag sparked these little embellishments that I want to make for you guys. So it's all about the kids, the toys and the bicycles, the little red wagon, the stuffed animals, the school books. I thought it would be so super cute to do a bunch of embellishments based around, you know, the toys. Especially the little race car. Now, I wanted my little race car to be facing to the left, like the front of it actually pointing to the left. And when I reversed the image in my program, I didn't realize that it had a number 5 on it until I went to go color it. I know, that's how oblivious I am to things around me. I did not realize that, and so I'm coloring it, and I thought, oh, it'll be perfect to show people how to cover things up. You know, I mean, come on, it's an enamel dot that I plan on using, but technically I forget about it. In all honesty, I completely forget about, I get so engrossed in creating all these little embellishments that I forgot about it until the very end. But I did end up making 2 little race cars because I wanted the number 5 to be going in the correct order. Yes, in the correct, not order, but direction, so it's legible. All right, so sit back, relax. This is a very, very long video today because I go through every single one of my embellishments and I create them for you. So this cute little raccoon stuffed animal, I think it is so adorable. I'm actually going to use the packaging that I had left over from taking the boat out of the some assemblage required packaging. It's just the perfect background. It is the perfect wood grain for this soft palette, this soft color palette. And I absolutely love how this looks. And then of course it says my favorite toys, which was perfect for the embellishments that I am creating. I'm also taking that beautiful pattern paper, and I know it's just a microscopic little sample of it, but it adds so much to each of these clusters that I think that it works really, really well. Okay, so for some of these, I am just adding little bits and pieces. They're not really meant to be standalone. They're meant to be used maybe with another cluster, with extra little things that personalize the page for you. They are meant to, to be an addition to, like that one little extra special touch. So for this one, I couldn't decide if I wanted to do first day at school or first day at kindergarten. I chose first day at school. I am trying to figure out how to add it, and then I decide I'm going to split it and have it go across, from one side to the other through the images. So I'm tucking it in. Of course, I did not cut it straight. So when I do the first day, I do kind of have to cover up the word day just ever so slightly to get that banner piece, flag piece, I'm not sure what it's called, to look correct, because it actually was cut a little wonky. So anyways, I do like how it ended up turning out. I love the dimension, but yet it's not a whole lot of dimension on this. I do add some foam dots later, but right now I am just working with the dimension of the tag, and that is it. I haven't added anything on there. This one here is meant to be like a journaling spot, so you journal right along, like maybe the favorite children's books, or how your child liked, where your favorite child's reading spot, your favorite child's, yeah, where your child's favorite reading spot was in the house or outside, anything like that. And then I really wanted to make a whole bunch of clusters around the outdoor toys, like the scooters, the bicycles. Like I said, that checkered flag is what inspired this entire little cluster making, because it was just so adorable. I had to have a little race car. I had to have all that, and then it brought me to remember that I had this collection, and I just was so stoked to play with this collection and get it going. I wished I had more of these cut-aparts. I only purchased a little bit, so after these are created, I will end up just with paper, which is fine because the blue stars and the yellow stars, and of course the striped-ish paper goes with anything. I don't have to really think about the fact that they are for child memories. So yeah, it will work. I just enjoy creating little embellishments like this. Okay, so first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to have these little Converse-ish shoes hanging from, like a string, their shoelaces or whatnot. And so it just made me giggle that I was able to make that happen. And of course, I added the little chipboard sticker that says "so cute." And you guys, this is so fun. I love making this. So to cover up where my string is going to hang on this little banner, I'm going to add an enamel dot. And the enamel dot, it doesn't work, but it does work. I have to add lots of extra glue. So the first thing I did was glued my twine down, and then of course I didn't like how the enamel dot was sticking, so I had to add a little bit more glue. Well, then I couldn't see that I was adding glue, so I added a lot more glue. But in the end, I get the enamel dot to sit the way that I like it, that I'm happy with it. So that way I can, move on. So for this one, I cut out one of the images from my cut apart cards, and my metal ring fits beautifully over this beach ball. And then of course the cut apart wagon was the exact same size. I thought, oh, what a happy discovery. It's not an accident, it's a discovery. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So I'm going to pop it up, make it look like one of those literally old pictures that you used to see. Well, I used to see them in bathrooms that have like 4 or 5 different dimensions of the same exact image, but yet each image has a different cutout and popped up a little further to make it look like it was a 3D picture. So I thought, oh, how perfect. And then I kept adding and adding, like, what else could I add to this? Well, these 3 little blocks are perfect, and these little shoes are just, they're adorable, by the way. That little birdhouse sticking out from the tree does kind of worry me a little bit. I wanted to reinforce it ever so slightly, but I couldn't find anything to reinforce it, and so I'm just going to leave it. Yep, it is what it is. And then I'm just labeling this playground because that's all of these things reminded me of a child's playground. You find sometimes they leave their shoes out there. There's blocks and houses and all that stuff. It just was the perfect little embellishment. All right, this one has to be my absolute favorite. So of course I used my favorite saying out of that entire sheet, which is patience tester. It made me giggle. I'm going to go ahead and put that right on top of the boat. Now, because the boat is stiff, it's made out of wood, and I'm trying to put it on top of a metal ring, I do use my glue dots in certain spots. And then I'm going to glue down the little bottom portion of the boat because all it has to stick it down is, to hold it down is just that little rod that holds the sail up, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure that the bottom of the boat doesn't fall off. So I reinforced it with some glue, used some more glue dots on the back of my boat to put it on the top of the flowers. I thought the flowers were absolutely a beautiful touch, and I really love that one. That one is my absolute favorite. Now, I have to tell you guys that I don't plan on using these on a layout. Truth be told, I know you guys like it when I show you guys how to use these clusters because making them is really super fun. I completely agree with that. But to use them on a layout, it does, kind of make your head scratch. Like, how do I incorporate this? I have noticed that a lot of people are using the embellishments that they receive when they order from the Some Assemblage Required Etsy shop. That's a shameless plug, I apologize. I have been noticing that people are using them, and I'm so super excited to see how you guys incorporate these with your own layouts and whatnot. So super stoked. And that's what I'm creating these for. These are going to be more thank you gifties in the Etsy shop because I have to say that if some of you guys have noticed, I haven't been able to put any in the last few orders because I ran out. It does take time to create these, and so I thought it would be absolutely perfect if I created some more, and I love doing it on camera. I absolutely love showing you guys how I put these together and making them, even though most of the comments are like, wish I could see you use them. These aren't intended for use. These are going to be little gifties in my orders for when people place orders from the shop. So anyways, that was the shameless plug. For now, I'm working on my very last little embellishment that I have, and it is going to be my my favorite one as well because, again, I'm using the inspiration piece. I saved it for last because I didn't want to lose motivation. Because this was my inspiration piece, I didn't want to get so excited, use all the goodies, and then all of a sudden I didn't know what to do with anything else that I created. So it's one of those things that makes me think that if I would have done this first, all the rest wouldn't have looked as cute as they turned out to be. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. But I definitely was excited to finally get to this one because it's like, I already know how I'm going to do it, and I already know this, and I already knew that. And it came together so quickly because of the fact that that it was already my first piece, in my brain. And I love this little saying that says, childhood is a journey, not a race. It matches perfectly with the little flag, the little car. Oh my gosh, you guys, it could not have came together any easier or any more perfect. So anyways, finishing off all of these little goodies, going to go ahead and show you what they all look like together. Yeah, I forgot to fix my little 5, so I'm going to pull out these enamel dots and ta-da, covered it all up. I love the fact that the enamel dots come in so many colors and they can blend with any color palette. I absolutely love that. All right, you guys, that is my long video that I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I really, truly appreciate it. And yeah, don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel. She is Galaxy Girl Creation here on YouTube. She is also joining me this month in the unconventional cut file usage because she also has a huge amount of cut files hanging around and wants to use them up. All right, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.